Hey YouTube, how's it going? Bring up the update for the transmission cross member. So I had to open up, so anyone that really wants to do this swap with a 470W and a 302, mind you, the 470W has to come from a V6, either a V6 Mustang, F-150, Explorer, just as a disclaimer. The both parents differ on the 302 and the 4.6. So I had to open up the holes to the adjustments here. I know they don't look pretty, so what I'm gonna do is just put washers and a nut to hold them, and I'm gonna reinforce this from here to this bottom portion. I had to cut one of the supports I had on the top. I will be unable to use it because of the more of the transmission mount here. I'm going to see if I could just hammer this a little bit to kind of weld it here. I did have to cut, don't know if this was catching. I had to put like a piece of steel here. I still need to box this in. So this still isn't done, but as you could see, transmission is pretty much lined up in the transmission tunnel. From this angle it doesn't look like it. But now what I'm gonna do is basically take out the transmission. I know I rebuilt this transmission about 4 years ago. But what I'm going to do is just disassemble it, put a new front pump gasket just to be on the safe side. Go through everything, make sure it didn't get off grime or anything, and start with the installation of the manual valve body conversion kit from Transco. So other than that, the cross member does hold. Don't know if you can see here. But now the problem would be is your factory drive shaft is a little bit on the long side. So I think what I need to do is probably cut it by 1 inch or so. Seeing from where it usually rides to where it's at, it looks to be probably 1 inch, because that's basically what the transmission moved back. So I mean, that's basically the update. Now in terms of the fuel lines, let me go out from underneath the car. In regards to the fuel lines, I have this cover here just so this won't get any dust in the intake. So I'm using I believe it was a 94 or a 91. I had it somewhere by here. So, assuming the line goes here, that's an approximate. I bought these, it's a rubber hose that's rated for fuel injection. So I had to cut the factory lines from the plastic nylon from the steel. So the idea would be that's your supply, goes into here. I'm using the factory quick connects. I'm going to be replacing the O-rings. And then here's your return, somewhere along like this. So what I need to do is clamp this here and here, and finally install this here and here. I'm just waiting for the clamps to arrive to be able to install this, and then to buy the O-rings for this. But other than that, I have the mark there. It's mostly in line, give or take, probably 1/4 of an inch. Shouldn't be that much of an issue. But yeah, everything lines up. I just need to start installing the accessory drive. Already have the alternator. I just need to buy the lower bolt because that one's too short. Power steering pump, and then the crankshaft pulley. AC, I'm gonna try to see if I could retrofit the old the FS10 compressor from the Crown Victoria, but I would need to somehow make a bracket here. Don't know if I may need to use the motor mount one and this portion here and this to kind of do a support for it and to put it in line with this. So I don't think I'm going to use the old factory style, the one that would go on top. What I will need to do is put like a tensioner to be able to keep the tension of the because this one uses two pulleys, one for the water pump, alternator, power steering pump to the crank, and then from the crank there's one that goes to the AC compressor, which is going to be a short one plus a tensioner to be able to keep tension on the pulley there. So yeah, that's the update for this week. Now what I need to do is take everything out, go through the transmission, and install the transmission kit for it. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll see if I'll make a more detailed video in regards to the cross member, so then anyone that might be interested, they could do it. Basically, it's carrying a piece of 5.5 from the top, like one quadrant of it. If you think about it, since it's a pipe, if you divide it into 4 quadrants, the one towards the transmission, but towards the top. Again, I'll do a detailed video on it if you guys like. But yeah.